If we could move into the world of what's the practical advice? You spend a lot of time on both sides of the fence thinking about this in terms of retention in the business and growth in the business, right? Because everything we do, bottom line, we are for-profit organizations, right? So the best way to do that is to serve the customer, right? How do we connect this? That's one of the biggest disconnects, right? Is that it isn't connected to retention and growth. So, like, how do you practically think about that in terms of making that the synapses connect there?
I'm a big believer in structured revenue architecture for understanding how business life cycles, how customer client life cycle experiences extend and how they extend with joy and delight. I even use the word craveability, an unusual word in customer experience. But when you have it, it's magic. Nike has had craveability for many years, despite some recent stumbles. We need to do a couple things with revenue architecture modeling of businesses. Probably in the last 4 or 5 years, growth at all costs has vanished. It happened during COVID. Most of us did not understand that. Like many things, like a recession, you don't know things have changed until you're able to look backwards. But what has happened is that business cycles have changed. We're now in a cycle more where the disruption is causing a lot of different changes in any business, B2B, B2C, B2B2C. And if we're not appreciating that, we're doing what comes naturally. We're putting more emphasis on new logo acquisition. And you see this everywhere. And I'm inside a lot of companies right now. There is a natural tendency for the CEO, the board, and everyone else to say, oh, wow, numbers aren't what they should be. Let's hammer the new logo guys even harder. Run faster, everybody. Lift more. Instead, what we need to be thinking about, particularly in this business cycle right now, I believe, is focusing on the overall lifetime value and lifetime journey that they're taking. And what that looks like, Steve, and I'm going to cite Winning by Design, a group that I'm affiliated with, in how they think about all this modeling. You take the traditional funnel, which starts with a big circle and moves on down. We all know what that. You turn it on its side, 90 degrees. And that becomes one half of a bow tie model. The middle of the bow tie is the knot. That's where a customer new logo is acquired. But then, and here's where I think the magic really is, you have another funnel that's attached to that knot. This one expands bigger and bigger on the other side. And this is what it looks like when you get a new client or customer. You start working with them, you make them successful, you make them retained because they're full of joy working with you. And then you ultimately expand that relationship. The model works whether you're dealing B2B with multi-$100 million deals, or you're thinking about an individual customer somewhere in the world that is depending on you for a simple solution. Focus on solving it for that person. More than 70% of your business comes through retention and expansion. The mathematical numbers are much greater if you're successful with an existing client than if you're trying to break your back getting 4 new clients. And if we can convince all the businesses to think this way, we're going to deliver better CX. We're going to deliver better continuum of care. And ultimately, we're going to deliver happier customers. All that becomes a virtuous cycle.